Welcome to Raíces and Wings, Nosotros los Inmigrantes. And today I want to tell you something about one of the most important people in my life. The teacher, Mrs. Reese. Hi, Mommy.
Hi, honey.
How are you?
Fine. It's good to be here with you.
Oh, it's so nice that you came. Mommy, do you remember how we met and where?
Yes, we actually taught together at Mays Middle School, and you were a traveling teacher at that point in time. So you spent time at one building, and then in the afternoon you went to another building. And when teachers do that, they don't really have an opportunity to meet their comrades, you know. So I, on occasion, maybe once or twice a week, when you were in our building, I'd go down and just greet you in the morning and tell you to have a good day. And I tried to do that several times because you don't really get attached in that kind of an atmosphere. And you just were a delight to be around. Your smile was engaging, your eyes were bright with adventure, and so that's basically how.
I remember perfectly. One of the times, I didn't know how the anchor works by that time, because I was first a paraprofessional and then I started to be a teacher. And I remember when I was with my anchor, and before anchor you came and said like, I need Daniel. And I say, yes, Mrs. Reese, I will send it to you. And I forgot. So then, Mrs. Reese opened the door like, said, Daniel? And I was like, oh my goodness, I forgot.
You understand.
And then I was so embarrassed. And you left with Daniel. But it was so nice, because after that I remember one time that we were in the office and you hugged me. And I said, oh my goodness, because we hugged a lot. And for me, it was very difficult to understand the culture. I didn't know if people hug or not, or I say hello with the hand or just hi. I don't know. I didn't know, because when I came, I started to kiss everybody and they were like, what are you doing? So we kiss everybody. It doesn't matter that it's the first time that we met the person. We say, oh, nice to meet you, and we kiss. So here it was like different. So
I remember that day too. I remember you had red on, and oh my goodness, with that red with your dark hair and your beautiful skin, and we almost ran into one another, actually, in the mail room. And I'm a hugger, you know.
I love that.
I'm just, that's the way I am.
Yeah.
So.
And then I remember I lost my dad, and I think I'm a private person. I think I didn't tell anybody, but you figure out, and you support me, and it was very nice time.
Well, I was a little disappointed. It was just before the winter break.
Yes.
Or no.
No,
it was just
the
before
summer.
the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I went down to your room to tell you goodbye, because you had to leave early because your father hadn't passed away yet, but he was very, very sick.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to leave early. And I was disappointed because I didn't get to tell you goodbye, and then I'd be thinking about you. So when you came back to start the new school year, I went down and I talked to you about that, and then you told me about about your father passing away, and I told you that I had come to say goodbye to you, and you were touched by that.
Yes,
So
I was very touched.
And
I
then
said like, oh.
you asked me in the fall of the year, your students had participated in what you call Day of the Dead.
Oh, yes.
And you had a display at Botanica.
Yes.
And you asked me to come. It was on a Saturday. It was a beautiful fall day.
It was wonderful.
Beautiful, beautiful fall day. And I was walking down the pathway to get where your location was. You saw me, and you were so surprised, and you came running to me, and you said, I never dreamed you would come. And I said, well, I told you I would be here, you know. And so you showed me around, and that was a fun day.
That was a fun day. I couldn't believe it because I said, well, maybe, you know, everybody has things to do during the weekend. But it was a wonderful surprise, and you saw everything and all the things that my students did, and it was nice.
Well, and I also learned a little about your culture that way too.
Yeah.
Because I'm was born and raised in Kansas. I mean, this has just been my whole view of the world, and so you did intrigue me with all of your, you know, the knowledge that you had about not only your culture but many cultures in the world. And I remember the face paint that you had on your face that day, and it was, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm glad I went.
Yeah.
So.
But I think my best moment was when you retired, because one of the things that make me be very nervous is to lose my job. So I think I never really tried to interact very deeply with somebody because I don't know. I was very scared. So when you retire, I remember that we had a coffee in Panera. It was super nice. I had class that day, and I never am absent of my classes when I am
You mean
studying.
at university?
Yes, I had classes at WSU. I think I was doing, I don't remember what I was studying at that time, but it was so nice because we talk and talk and talk, and 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, how many hours?
5 hours.
Like 5
We were there 5 hours.
And at the end, I said, would you like to be my American mom?
And what did I say?
You say, sure.
I said I would be honored.
Yes.
And it has been an honor.
Oh my.
All these many years
so
later.
Nice.
So.
So nice.
But the unique thing about that was that during that 5-hour period, people would come into Panera, and there were people from Chile, there were people from Peru, there were people from Spain, from Panama, and they all came up to you, and of course there was a lot of kissing and all this kind of stuff. So I was just in awe of all the people that you knew. I called it the International Coffee Shop. But yeah, that was fun. You've taught me a lot.
Oh, Mommy, it was super nice, super nice. And after that, I think, we celebrate your 60th birthday. Well, it was 60.
It wasn't 60.
It was.
It just was a birthday.
Yeah, it was. It was just a birthday, but it was a surprise one.
It was a surprise one. They got me. You got me well.
But you know what was so funny? That everybody was there because everybody loves you, from maids and friends and family. We start to dance and everybody disappear.
That's a different culture.
Yeah. That was so nice.
We're wallflowers. Some of us are. You know.
That was very nice.
But I remember us. You wanted to go dancing.
Oh yes.
And there was a place in Old Town, and so we went there. And you told me it was salsa dancing. Well, I didn't know anything about salsa dancing, so that day I got on YouTube
Yeah.
I tried to learn how to salsa dance on YouTube, and when you heard that, I mean, the laughter just roared around the room. And I told her no matter how many lessons I could possibly take, there's no way my hips would move like yours. But it
was super fun.
It was fun.
And we got a new step dance that day. I remember that you were like, woohoo! Around the so it was super nice. And I incorporated to my
Yes,
steps.
you did. You did.
That was super good. And I think I'm very thankful that you, oh my goodness. This was serious.
Oh. Well, one thing we like to do together is laugh.
Yeah.
And it's a hearty laugh. And I know that sometime, at some point, anytime I spend time with you, there's going to be a moment of sheer laughter. Body shaking laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is one of the things that I like the most. But I'm very thankful that you opened your heart to me. And you gave me the opportunity to show you who I am. And it has been incredible. And today, a lot of things that I know I never were capable to do, I did it because you were next to me. And I want to say thank you.
Well, that's a very nice thing to say, but you have opened my world like you would not believe. You've allowed me to see life and adventure and excitement, and you always told me, Mommy, no matter what happens, there's always options. And that's what you've lived your life.
Yeah.
You know, as we have journeyed through this life together, there's always options, and you're not afraid to step into the unknown, to step into some place that you've never been before, and that's exciting to see that. And if I was able to help you move that foot into the unknown, oh, that just means everything to me, because
oh, yes, Mom.
I love you with all my heart.
And I love you, Mom.
And I do, my heart's very big, and I'm
Yes.
very proud of you.
Your heart is like a little complex of apartments. You have an apartment for everybody, including a Mexican like me. But Mommy, it has been really super fun. You gave me something so important, like the opportunity to know your culture and the opportunity to me to assimilate in that culture, and also to do things that I will never do it without you. And the first thing of that, it was get my independence. I was emotionally attached, economic knowledge to somebody, and I was terrified. And you were there, and you say, you can do it, and let's do this, and you helped me to organize, to move, to do things like really, wow. So it was very important for me to be there. And you gave me the opportunity to meet other people, like people that maybe I didn't want to be because it scared me a little bit. And you introduced me to that people, and oh my goodness, now are super friendly, and I enjoy having them. And I think my life is fun because you are there. We had quite a fun.
Well, we do have fun when we're together.
Yes.
But you've introduced me to many people that I wouldn't have been able to know otherwise. And you know, you took me well, when you got me, you also got my husband.
Yes, Papa.
Dennis, and he loves you. Like, he loves you very
And
much.
we love you, Mommy.
And you took us to Mexico to show us where you grew up, and you taught me so much about your culture. And I'm not a very good traveler, but traveling with you, you made it so easy, and I felt very safe, and I felt secure in your knowledge of travel, you know, how to navigate from here to there, particularly with people that you don't speak their language. And you know, you made it most enjoyable, and those are wonderful memories.
Well, some parts, because I remember when we went to Acapulco, and I saw my sister in a hammock, and it was the first time that you were in the Pacific Ocean, I remember, and we went there, and I remember your face. You were so calm, because I knew that water was something that get you very nervous, and you fell down, and your head was on the water, and your hair was like. I said, oh my God, that's my mommy! And I tried, and I said, okay, Mommy, let's go. And we walked, and I saw the hammocks, and my sister was there, and my sister Renata is very tall, and I said, oh, Mommy, don't worry, down in the hammock. And you say, the hammock will resist me there, and said, oh, it's Renata is there, no problem. And I said, you fell down. And everybody was like, woo! A big thing.
Yes, and when those sorts of things happen, I want you to understand that her first response is to laugh at people in those dire straits.
I cannot avoid
because she can't, that's how her emotions
work.
Work during stressful times like that. And so she was laughing. She was laughing so hard she couldn't get her breath.
I couldn't breathe.
So I accused her of trying to drown me in the ocean and trying to injure me on the hammock. But that also happened on the street of Berlin too, when I fell when we were there.
Well, but the first 5 seconds I was worried about you.
And then it was sheer laughter. And I remember shaking my finger at her and said, don't you dare laugh. And then she lost it. So that was funny.
Yeah.
But we do. Laughter is very, very
It is very
important to us.
And it doesn't matter where we are.
No.
One day we were fixing my classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember?
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness, we were laughing so hard.
We were putting a pedestal stand together, and all the little parts were here and there, and we were looking at the directions, and then there were some parts that were left over, and I said, well, where do these go? And she says, oh, they're spare parts. I said, well, how do you know that? She says, it says so right here, spare parts. Well, we broke out in such laughter that the custodian came, Keith, on, and he's such an adorable man. And what did he tell you?
It's like, I never hear Mrs. Reese laugh like that. Oh my goodness.
But it was, we laughed.
It doesn't matter what
No.
we were doing. We were one time in the movie theater. We were we used to go to coffee shops and talk there, and they were laughs like.
Yeah, they wanted us out of the shop.
They were laughing too.
So.
The day that we were laughing in the movie theater, we started to laugh. The movie didn't start yet, and everybody around started to laugh too, and that was like contagious.
It was contagious. Oh my goodness, those were
Very
good.
nice.
Those lots of wonderful memories. And when I look at her, I just she's just love. I just love her, and I am so thankful that she came into my life.
I'm the thankful one.
So.
Because really you enrich my life, you help me to my assimilation and acculturation goes faster, You were my translator because I didn't speak very well English. I didn't speak it now very well English, but you start to translate it, and you practice with me with emails and read all my papers and see this is good, this is not, and in a so professional way. You are very professional in everything that you do, that you taught me that part that I didn't develop. So still, like a mother, you finished to raise me that part. So you will be my mother all the time up.
Well,
thank you.
You're my heart, you're my daughter, so. And you allowed me to meet your wonderful, lovely family.
Yes, and they love you too.
It's been a very good experience.
Oh yes, and I always say to my kids, always add people to your life, never subtract. And you add me in your family, in your life, and you are my family.
Well, that works both ways.
Yeah. Thank you, Mommy.
Thank you, honey.
I love you. I love you. See you next time. And yes, it doesn't matter where you are, where you were born. Cultures are not a barrier. Cultures can be something that put people together. See you soon.